I'd thought I'd find you here. You've always seemed to take a liking to this balcony. Darling, we've been over this already. I'm fine. See? No burning into ashes here. This parasol isn't just for show. And who was the one who insisted that I have the stonemasons build roofings over my balconies? Oh, don't pout. I adore your concern. But why would I ever risk being kissed to death by sunlight when I could get all those little deaths from you? Oh, your parents sent another letter. It's why I was looking for you. I didn't know if you'd want to read it, or use it as kindling, but here. Please tell me they're checking in on your well-being. All right. How much are they asking for this time? Goodness. Your family seems to think of me as a never-ending source of riches. They're right, of course, but seeing them repeatedly use you as leverage is getting quite tiresome. At this rate, your future dowry will rival their entire estate 3 times over. Even then, I doubt they'd be satisfied. Such greedy souls. How ever did you deal with this? Hey, there's no need to apologize, my love. You are not to blame for their behavior. Really, darling, at some point, I might just handle them my own way. I don't care about the money, but it's despicable, the way they still treat you like some sort of prize cow. Have I ever told you how much I adore whenever you get all worked up? Knowing you to be capable of such words makes you even more endearing. But, your parents being utter disappointments aside, are you all right? You seemed to be in deep thought when I came over. And you only ever go here when something vexes you. I did consider leaving you be for the meantime, but it seems like you needed the company. Oh, don't look so surprised, my love. Very little escapes my notice when it comes to you. Well, I should be very much glad that I'm unlike that former betrothed of yours, shouldn't I? I admit, his last barrage of missives was quite a chore to get through. To this day, I regret that you had to read all that drivel. I can't really deny that. vowing vengeance on this countess, swearing to turn the people against me. For an arranged match, he was quite fixated on you. Remember how he even threatened to bring my head to the king before I erased his memory of you? Don't fret. I never did take him seriously. But I wouldn't have blamed you if you wished to have him turned into a chain-bound thrall. Yes, I'd have to drink from him to do it. But if a moment of disgust on my part leads to long-term satisfaction on yours, then that's what makes it worth it. I know you're much kinder than I, but I wouldn't mind if you chose to show a little less mercy to the people who've wronged you. Well, if that's too difficult, then we can always start cultivating your potential ruthlessness somewhere else. Like, say, my bed. Of course. That's not to say I dislike how you are naturally. After all, reducing you to a whimpering, quivering mess is one of my favorite pastimes. But really, darling, what's wrong? I can't bear seeing you so troubled. How could you ever upset me? I promise, nothing you'd say would ever make that happen. Go on. Pardon? No. I wasn't. That wasn't. I was just surprised, darling. Sweetheart, please look at me. I'm not angry. Truly. Is that what you want? Oh, my pretty little flower. Come here. I don't doubt your love in the slightest. I'm sorry for making you feel that way. It's just that this isn't a reversible process, darling. Vampirism isn't something one must take lightly. I turned to it when I believed I had no other options. I don't regret it, of course. But unlike me, you still have humanity's spark in you. I may be many things, but at the end of it all, I am but a creature of the night. You still get to live and love in the sunlight. I just want you to be happy and cared for. And if you soon decide that that happiness doesn't lie with me, then I'll oblige. But I am sorry I didn't note. Darling? Well, I only meant to say that I would understand if, after a while, you decide to leave and perhaps settle with someone else, more mortal. I wouldn't be happy about it, mind, but as long as you're free, I... That was quite a passionate speech, my little flower. How long have you been preparing for that? Ever since then? I was being considerate. You'd just been shackled to that odious man, and you thought you could never escape him. You were very vulnerable that night, my love. I wasn't going to take advantage of you. Granted, I made sure not to do anything too untoward in the moment. Oh. Empty promises, were they? I seem to recall that once you felt better, I fulfilled them. Quite exhaustively, might I add. Tell me, have I ever left my lady wanting? Thought so. Oh, that... You remember that? Well, yes. I did say I would delight in preserving you. And I did mean it. But I wasn't going to hold it against you if you ever changed your mind. I'm sorry. I didn't want to be presumptuous about how you'd feel regarding vampirism. Immortality may be tantalizing for some, but a nightmare for others. And I didn't want to scare you. True, you may have wanted it in the heat of the moment, but I would have understood if you had any reservations after. And given that we never properly discussed it, I just thought, well, I didn't want to impose any expectations, especially when it comes to something like this. But please know that I've never once doubted your affections. I only worried about whether or not I was inadvertently keeping you in another, much more gilded cage. Forgive me. I appreciate your adamancy, my love, though I would hope that I'd never need to bind you in chains to keep you with me, even if you gave your wholehearted permission. But I will keep that in mind the next time I have my way with you. A gentlewoman never disappoints. Especially after being kissed like that. Really, I encourage you to silence me more often. All right. Shall I go get the grimoire then? To reference how I became a vampire, of course. If I recall, the first step involves setting up the ritual for it, and we'll have to pick out a ceremonial coffin for you too. Although, we'd have to have the runes engraved and wait for the next eclipse, but... My. I believe this is the first time I've ever heard you say it like that. Would you like to repeat that for me, little flower? No. Now's not the time to go quiet. Not even a second ago, you were quite unabashed about it. What was it again? Something about having my fangs on your neck instead. There we go. That wasn't so hard, now was it? Oh, sweetheart, all you have to do is ask, and I will do it. You needn't shy away from me. Fair point. I suppose you did try the first time. It's all right. After all, we'll have all the time in the world, won't we? Come now. If you've been waiting this long, then surely it would be remiss of me to prolong your agony. Yes, darling. I was only teasing. We have no need for the grimoire, nor the coffin. But I'll have the servants prepare a few things for our quarters. Was this all that was on your mind, my love? Or is there anything else? Mm-hmm. Oh. What about him? Truly? Sweetheart, if I'd known you had a possessive streak, I would have let you chain me up instead. Is that really why you didn't want me to turn him into a thrall? Because you were jealous? Oh, don't be embarrassed. I think it's sweet. Mm-hmm. I'd never complain about you wanting me to yourself. Now that's an adorable expression on you. Like an unsure little cat who's gotten the cream. Now come. Darling, are you absolutely sure you've thought this through? I may have made the grimoire comment in jest, but if you'd rather prefer that, it is the safer option. I see. Feeding is very different from turning, my little flower. Yes, I know you've read up on it. but I feel it's in your best interest that we refresh. Oh, I do trust your judgment, but this will make me feel better. So humour me for a moment, please. Thank you. As you know, turning is an excruciating process. First and foremost, it involves an exchange of blood. I drink yours, you drink mine. It does sound like being turned into a thrall, doesn't it? However, the distinction between you emerging as either a thrall or a vampire depends on the amount of human blood you have in your body at the time of turning. Yes, that is what's most critical. You haven't read that part, have you? One day, we will have a conversation about what you consider to be sufficient research. Now, if a mortal is bitten and given vampire blood while they are still alive, they become a thrall. But if they're drained of their blood to the point of unconsciousness before being fed, only then will they become a vampire. Death giving way to rebirth. Complete and utter blood loss. Something famously known to be unpleasant. Which is why, if you'd like to undergo self-induced vampirism instead, I thought not. Fortunately for us both, I do know of a way to keep you from feeling such pain. Have you ever wondered why vampire feedings bring their victims pleasure? Your preferences have nothing to do with it, darling. Although that is nice to know. Over the centuries, I've come to find that it's a physiological response caused by some type of venom that we vampires secrete from our fangs. It allows us to feed more efficiently due to our prey being subdued in such a manner. Like an aphrodisiac. Yes. Interesting word choice. In any case, if given enough practice, vampires can actually moderate the pleasure their prey feels via their venom. From overwhelming their victims into madness, to withholding it entirely if they so choose, leaving the poor souls to experience undiluted torment. That's right. Would you like that, sweetheart? Enough euphoria to eclipse the pain. If our nights together were any indication, I'd say I've gotten a lot of practice. Of course, once I drain you of your blood, I'll give you mine. Now, lie down for me. We'll do it here, on the bed. Well, of course. Your comfort is still of utmost priority to me. Why do you think I had the servants make preparations? Regardless of what you've read, I am not having you buried for the turning process. You will be comfortable and out of harm's way. I would never put you in danger, my love. I promised that you would be safe here. Did I not? I have no intention of reneging on that anytime soon. Oh. I see. Normally, I'd pride myself on my self-control, but it seems like someone else has been even more patient than I. Oh, even when begging so prettily, you still have your manners. You're such a good girl, aren't you? Now, what does my pretty flower desire? Of course, your wish is my command. You taste absolutely divine. A goddess. That's what you are. It's all right, my love. You can hold on to me. You're doing so well. That's it. It's okay. I'll see you soon. Oh, there's my precious little flower. How are you feeling? Here, drink this. It's a mix of human and deer blood. It's said to be a good transitory choice for fledgling vampires. It's what keeps them from going into a feeding frenzy right away while still providing the proper nutrients. It also helps any possible fledglings who have a revulsion to drinking pure human blood. Apparently, it's a leftover vestige of mortal qualms. So easing you into it is best. Oh, I was just looking through the book, just in case I missed anything. And, well, darling, you've been out for 3 days. Yes, it is the standard, but that did little to calm my nerves. I could barely bring myself to leave your side. What? Is it a sin to be worried about you? I might be calm now, but I assure you, I was a completely different story yesterday. The servants can corroborate that. Honestly, if you hadn't shown the telltale signs of vampirism last night, I don't think I would have been able to. Just know that my relief is immeasurable. Oh my God. Only you would find that an enjoyable ordeal. And here I was, having the vampiric equivalent to a heart attack. No, it's all right, darling. All that matters is that you're here. That's all I need to feel better. Now, how does it feel, being a vampire? Of course, that's what you're excited for. No. Rest first. You can explore your new abilities when you feel better. Of course, I'll stay. I love you too. There's nowhere else I'd want to be. Yes, darling. I am yours as much as you are mine. Eternally, in fact. So there's no need to worry. I promise. Now sleep. Good night, my love. Mm-hmm.